First, I want to give credit and appreciation to John Likens and Tom Bacon, as well as I think Ted Davis, who kind of arranged that whole meeting and for him to be here today. So first of all, I'll give those three guys a round of applause so we have this opportunity. Now, I know I sent a brief bio home on Brad Bates, and when I was talking to him on the phone, I was going to mention, I recall when I was a kid, his dad being the head coach at Northern. I recall his brother, probably more, Joel, just because I'm a little younger than Mr. Bates over there. But and him going to Eastern, which is also my alma mater, so probably a reason I remember that also as well. But really a great story. And I'm not going to bore you with all the details because most of you probably read it. But we're talking about a local kid from Port Huron Northern, I believe, that just had a great dream, a desire to play Big Ten football. And rather than, again, like we said earlier with Mike Singletary, rather than do what people said he couldn't do, he busted his butt. And now, still 30-some years later, his workouts are legendary. He still holds records at University of Michigan for the conditioning tests. And that's what got him from being a walk-on that other schools didn't want to a scholarship player at one of the most prestigious football institutions in the world through hard work. And I think that's one of the things that gets us excited to listen to him today. But when I talk to him on the phone, I realize that's the reason we get excited, but that's not the reason we should listen to him. Because when I was talking to a gentleman on the phone that I'd never met before, here's the things that he talked to me about and made the impression on me, which is why I realized here's a guy we need to listen to. Sometimes we see a guy that's had great success with football. Now he's been an athletic director at some schools and now at the University of Miami in Ohio. Can we think it's the success is the reason we should listen to him? It's the other way around. It's the man that created that success. Because when I talked on the phone, he talked about things like character and life lessons and integrity. He didn't talk about what I did in football or what I'm doing at University of Miami. He talked about things that make him a great man, which is why he's had great success. So I'd like to turn the microphone over to Brad Bates.
Coach, thank you very much. Seniors, stand up. Turn around and face your team. This is your year. You're the leaders. What are you going to do in the next 7 months? What do you aspire to accomplish? When you look your teammates in the eye, what are you committing to them that you're going to do to demonstrate what it's going to take to achieve those lofty standards? How are you going to raise the expectations for them in future years? You got 7 months. 7 months of your life. What is your legacy going to be? Thank you. In the pyramid Coach put up there, academics was prevalent. I cannot emphasize academics enough. Doors will open for you the rest of your life because of what you do in making sure you grow intellectually. For some of you, maybe math is hard. It's hard writing a paper. Maybe the sciences are tough. Others, it comes easy. You know what? It's no different than athletics. It's no different than some of you, the weight room comes easy. For some of you, you can run for miles and others dread conditioning. It's work. You control your performance and your attitude. And I'm telling you right now, the thing that will have the greatest impact on the rest of your life is what you do in the classroom and how you educate yourself. Now let's take that a little further. You're very, very fortunate and you're in an elite group. Football is the greatest game because of how physical it is. You have to learn to play with discomfort. There's pain involved in it. You push yourself beyond anything you think you can ever do. And the skills you acquire in the game transcend any future endeavor that you will ever engage the rest of your life. And beyond that, while you're playing football, You're in one of the premier public educational school districts in the state of Michigan. That is not easy to do. And that's why you're in the elite group. It's not for everybody. You should be proud of yourselves. It's amazing, extraordinary, impressive. Now, before you get too smug, there's a lot of people in this room who are responsible for where you are today. We heard some speak. You've got family around you, faculty, coaches. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I don't care if it's high fives, hugs, wrestle your dad to the ground. You got 3 minutes to show them how much you appreciate what they've done for you, and that includes your teammates. Go. Enthusiasm, the way we showed our gratefulness. Very good. I saw up on the board that Coach put up an emphasis on trust. Trust doesn't happen just because we talk about it. Trust is earned. And so my next challenge to this team is, how are you going to build that trust? Upper class, what have you done to welcome in next year's freshmen? We talked about driver's licenses. Not everyone on this team can drive yet. Linemen, are you going to be commuting those that don't have driver's license to workouts so they don't have to make special arrangements? Quarterbacks, when was the last time you took your lineman out and bought them a milkshake to show them how much you appreciate what they do for you? Linebackers, how about taking care of your defensive line for keeping those offensive linemen off of you? How are you going to show that appreciation? And even more important, how are you going to build the trust that we talked about here? Trust isn't something you just talk about. It happens every single day. One of the things I loved about what Coach was talking about, Coach I played for had a very similar rule to the way Coach articulated it. He had high expectations for the team. And some of your parents may have heard him in his famous speech talk about the team, the team, the team. That was not just words for him. He lived it. And he expected it from us. Let me give you a quick story. Talk about promptness. Why is promptness important? Because no one individual is bigger than the team. No one player is so good that the entire team can wait for that person to be tardy. When I was a player, we would have to be in the meeting 10 minutes early, just like Coach said, or you were late. And before we left for road games, we would go in the meeting room, and our head coach would come in,